Hi, welcome. This is Malaikaheamae, and I'm here to do your reading for today. I don't know what kind of energy is going to come over, but we'll find out together what type of messages receive. Okay. Let's give you messages that would best benefit the collective right now. Need to know what's going on right now. Let's see. Okay, so someone's not speaking and someone's spying on someone. Someone's deciding to live like reckless abandonment, meaning basically they are being non-committal. And the reason why they're choosing not to be committed is because they felt like they was given more than they was receiving, and they don't, and they're not going to settle down until they have a reciprocal situation. So this person is deciding to work on their finances, and they didn't like their current options. But when something comes along that they feel like is for them, they're going to put their attention to that. In the past, this person has dealt with deception, but their higher judgment told them to move forward and leave from this situation. So an offer was rejected. Now, the reason why this offer was rejected because they felt like it didn't bring long-term security. And this person is all about building long-term security. So they decided to leave the bickering and in the past. This person said, you know what? I don't want to pursue that anymore. There was some secrets, right? And this is what created a big disruption in their life. And so now this person has learned to trust their intuition. Let's see. Now, you know, being that this person had experienced the heartache and loss from the past, they are no longer, you know, in that place. Because at one point they were thinking about the love, and they were pondering on like what happened in the past. But they realized that that past love is no longer current, so they decided to move on from there. This person is turning away temptation. There's things that have been tempting them, and they decided to put that behind them because they realized when they had succumbed to the temptation, they were which was creating the temptation was the fact that they were suffering in silence. And this person was in a battle with their shadow self, you know. So people were showing up that represented the lower level aspect of themselves because of the place that they were currently in. But now this person has been enlightened, and they're willing to leave all of that conflict and defeat in the past and develop their spiritual strength. So being that they chose to develop their spiritual strength, they are seeing material and spiritual prosperity. So just take note that that emotional loss that you have felt, that is in the past. That's not what's going on in the future. And in the future, you should, you are getting your karma for all of the negative things that you've gone through because you remain steadfast. Even though that there was all of this negativity going on, you did not succumb to that temptation of fighting tit for tat or anything like that. In the past, you were struggling with trusting your intuition in regards to your movements and choices, and that's why you wasn't moving forward. But now you have learned that, and you're in a receive mode. Like a closed mouth doesn't get fed, and you was giving, and you was afraid to receive. But now you've humbled yourself to a point where you are able to receive, and you know that this is going to bring in new love in your life. I see new love coming in. And this love will be a reciprocal love. It will be a humble love. There won't be a power struggle involved in this. In the past, you struggled with emotional withdrawal, and you didn't want to start over. But now you're understanding how karma works. Karma is basically, it's like a final exam. It will determine whether you move on to the next grade or you go back and repeat the lessons that you once learned. And so you're understanding that, and you understand that the situations that you involved yourself in, they weren't giving you the optimal results because you didn't believe in yourself, and you didn't know your true worth. But now you've gained this wisdom, and you know who you are, and you're walking in your divinity. You are triumphant in all that you do. You have learned to trust your intuition and a higher guidance that's coming in regards to spiritual unions. You're not just jumping into every situation that presents themselves. You're really taking the time to choose wisely of who you want to be with and who you want to spend time with. In the past, there's people that was abusing their authority, and they weren't showing the truth. But you have learned, you've gained your voice, you've learned to speak up for yourself. So that's why things are coming together. And this is not only in as far as love, this is also has to do with business too, and your finances. Keep in mind, in the past, you pretending not to see things was the why you was not moving forward. But now that you are, now you do see these things, you can move on to your fulfillment of your wishes. In the past, you wasn't creative. You blocked off your creativity because you was afraid of deception and envy of others. But now you're at a transformation, and you're still conflicted, mentally conflicted. Let's see. Let me clarify this mental conflict. Wow. Tell me more about this mental conflict. Okay. Trust your intuition. There's someone that's not being truthful, and you wasn't true to yourself. There's an offer that was rejected in the past will now be accepted because you're ready to show your love in that situation. Yeah, because in the past, you felt that that individual wasn't the fulfillment of your needs, and you was angry at them, and you decided not to move on forward with them. But now you're ready to build a firm foundation. Okay, keep hope. Whatever you think is what's going to happen in your life. So if you are having negative thoughts about your current situation, it's going to be negative. It's not going to be positive. Let me burn some Palo Santo right here. I need to clear the space a little more. The reading's starting to get heavy, and we need to clear the energy here. Okay, so someone has recently ignited your passion, right? And because you were discontent and bored, but you, and that's why you didn't want to move on. But your victory is assured right now. You have the ability to move on. Because the only reason you wasn't, because you had to learn to gain your voice. You had to learn to stand up for yourself. You can't allow people to come into your life and dictate how your life is going to go. You have learned that, okay, the story that comes to mind is, again, the little red hen. And with the little red hen, she wanted to bake some bread, and no one wanted to help her bake the bread, but everybody wanted to sit down and eat. But when it was time to eat, she let them know, I'm not breaking bread with you because you did not contribute to this process, you know, and this is the place that you find yourself in now. So all the obstacles and challenges that you have in the past are lifted. You are finding a balance in your foundation, you know. So let me pull some advice from the Alice in Wonderland Oracle deck. Okay. So the 3 cards that I pulled were All in a Golden Afternoon, Upright, Inspiration, Creative, Imagination, Conception, Number 1, Knowledge. The Wisdom card, 2, I wonder what will happen next. Ready to ready to adventure, precipice to change, pause before action, and growing up, wanting to grow and experience, rejection of perpetual youth. Okay, so the first card that we have is All in a Golden Afternoon. I'm going to read it from the book because I love the illustrations and this oracle deck. Like the creator of this deck did an excellent job. Okay. Anon to sudden silence one, and fancy they pursue, the dream child moving through a land of wonder wild and new. In ancient times, we did not think an individual was responsible for their creativity. More so, a person blessed with creative genius, a divine spark, or brilliant idea was thought to have been visited by a muse, genie, or other spirit that can inspire someone with ideas that were longing to be born into the world. At the very beginning of the tale of Alice, there is a poem, a preface, which portrays the moment the author was begged to create a story. This card represents the time immediately before Alice's existence. There is no rabbit hole, no Cheshire Cat, no Mad Hatter, and no Queen of Hearts. There is only the urge to tell a story. So it is with you at this moment. A spark of inspiration is about to descend upon you. A wondrous tale is asking to be told through you. This urge of imagination can take many forms. It could be a creative solution to a problem you are experiencing. It may mean using visualization to improve at a physical activity, or painting a picture with a new technique or fresh perspective. Whatever form it takes, you are actively telling the story of your life with every word you speak, and creating the story in action with every move you make. What wonderlands can you create when you allow yourself to open to the genius all about you and invite it to come into the world through you? You are imaginative. You are creative. You have that spark within you. Whatever it is you wish to do, paint, draw, sing, write, dance, do this creative, vital, brilliant, life-bringing thing. Who knows what creations you could bring forth? Why not begin to discover the possibilities today? Time to create an imaginative idea. Inspiration takes hold. Talent and ability. The muse touches down in life. Get ready. So the next card that comes up, what will happen next in reverse? Attachment to habit. Locked into stultifying sameness. Comfort over adventures, a lack of curiosity, satisfaction remaining within the same world in a repetitive cycle. And the final card that I pull is growing up, wanting to grow and experience, rejection of perpetual youth. Shall I never get any older than I am now? That'll be a comfort one way, never to be an old woman, but then always to have lessons to learn? Oh, I shouldn't like that. Alice is in Wonderland, and she understands if she will ever leave or change or grow older. She understands this can have benefits, never growing old, infirm, forgetful, or having to rely upon others as the old so often must do. Even at her tender age, she realizes that if she stays young, she will always have lessons to learn. And that will be a great disadvantage, for Alice wishes to be clever, wise, and to have learned her lessons so she can move on to having a great life. When this card comes to you, it is a reminder of the many benefits of growing older and maturing. It encourages you to take each lesson as it comes, knowing you will become wise in time. If you were to stay young forever, these lessons would simply repeat, and there would be no real getting of wisdom. Alice does not wish to become old, but nor does she wish to stay young and unwise. So consider the benefits of growing older. Surround yourself with people of varied ages. and learn from their experiences. Work through your own lessons with practicality, patience, and enjoyment. We change physically as we grow older, and we become those to whom others turn to make sense of life. Make becoming an ancient and elder your goal. Reject the need to stay one young age forever, for that will keep you from the growth your soul longs for. Understanding that the years bring their lessons to you. Embrace becoming an elder. Watching time make its marks upon you and embracing the signs of aging. Understanding wisdom that could come with age. Being young at heart, yet yearning for encounters that will help you evolve, grow, and experience the fullness of life. So these cards are talking about, being in life and the importance of learning these life lessons. And how, because a lot of times when we're going through trials and tribulations, we scoff at those trials and tribulations, and we don't realize that without those trials and tribulations, we won't have wisdom. We need wisdom in order to grow and help others grow too. You can't be stuck in the same space doing the same thing over and over again because there's no growth. The one thing that's constant in life is change. And we have to be willing to embrace those changes as they come about. All right, so I'm going to pull from, let's see, the Angels of Abundance deck. Let's see what some advice that Spirit has from the Angels of Abundance. What kind of advice do we have? Okay, employment change. Your career path is leading you in a higher direction with positive changes to support your dreams, priorities, passions, and life purpose. Trust that these changes will help release the old and welcome the new. You are being supported each step of the way. Declutter. You'll feel better and more focused if you'll take the time to clear away clutter from your living and workspace. Donate what you can to help others who may need your items. Be sure to keep your schedule uncluttered as well. Too much things going on, nothing will get done. When you declutter, you can clearly see what it is that you are working with. What do you need and what you don't need, because those things have been removed from your plane. Raise or promotion. Congratulations, an increase in your abundance flow awaits you. This is a result of your positive focus and willingness to take action based on the divine guidance. Keep up the good work. I'm going to pull from the Attracting Abundance deck too, so we get some financial advice on how we can make things better. Yeah. Forgive. Whenever you're in conflict with someone, don't hold on to your feelings of anger or resentment. Send your love to that person and think of them with wholehearted love. This will open a door to reconciliation and forgiveness. When you harbor resentment, you can't receive in that mode. That's in a lack frequency. You're putting a person in a box thinking that they can't grow from that box that they're in when they truly can. So this is telling you to let that resentment go so that you can be welcome to receive. Because when we resent things, we stop trusting, and we're not trusting the universe to bring in what we need. And the next card came up is indulge. Buy yourself a treat each week, even if it's very modest. Enjoy it as though it were the greatest gift you have ever received. The universe will then provide many more gifts for you to enjoy. Harmony. A man is not rightly conditioned until he is a happy, healthy, and prosperous being. And happiness, health, and prosperity are the results of a harmonious adjustments of the inner with the outer of the man with his surroundings. James Allen, 1864 to 1912. When how you feel on the inside resonates on the outside. How you feel about yourself also resonates on the outside. So we have to be mindful and conscious of the thoughts that we have about ourselves and our personal situations. We have to be mindful of our I am statements. Make sure our I am statements that we make in our day-to-day life reflect what we want to happen in our life and not things that we don't. Spend gladly. Keep money flowing towards you. Your supply of money will dry up if you hoard what you have and are reluctant to part with it. Whenever you spend money, do so with a glad heart and acknowledge that more money will flow to you to take its place. Money is a currency. They call it currency because it's a current, right? And what happens when you dam up any current? It stops the flow. So when you're afraid to let go, it'll stop. I'll give you another example. When you cut water, right, the tighter you squeeze, the more water will trickle out. And that's the same thing about money. In order to receive, your hand can't be closed tight. It has to be open. That's why you always see rich people have all of these charities and donations and stuff, because they understand about the ebb and flow of money and how you have to keep it coming and going and allow it to flow in and out your life. All right, well, that concludes this current reading. I will be back later with some more readings for you, but right now that was the energy that was being drawn upon. Also, if you have a yes or no question, you can ask it right now. I'm about to pull out the pendulum and it's going to tell you which one it is. So let's see, let's calibrate it. Let's say, show me yes, stop, show me no. Right? All right, so you see how the pendulum is swinging. Up and down is yes, left and right means no. So here's your question. Ask your question, and now I'm going to let the pendulum go, and so you can know what your answer is. The pendulum is swinging yes. So whatever question you have, the answer is yes. Okay, well, this concludes today's session. I will see you guys later.